Good morning. Just getting out here to work. Just had breakfast. Just looking at this bull. Boy, he is a pork chop. Golly, he's got to be 2,000 pounds. I know on the camera he probably doesn't look that big, but if I was standing next to him, my shoulders would go up to his back probably. I mean, he is just huge. Anyway, counting our blessings this morning. I was just thinking about with the economy and everything and prices, and you start thinking, oh, what are we gonna do? I'm like, okay, focus. You know, we're trying to do a micro farm that'll eventually turn into a larger scale produce farm. And I think all the things we need to do for that, and it's so easy to think, well, I need to buy this and I need to buy that and I need to buy that. And I'm thinking, wait, what do we already have? That's what I'm always trying to do. There's a butterfly. Wow. Well, we've been blessed. If I'm really thinking about it, we've been blessed with one of the most important things, probably the most important things you can have. And there's a hive, that's the hive of bees that's inside this barn. And the previous people living here tried to get rid of this hive 5 times, and they just keep coming back. And I just thought, I don't want them to go away. I mean, what a blessing. We need pollinators. Think how much it would cost, how much time it would take to have bees. And they just go in here and they just go in that hole, and that beehive in there has got to be from here to here. I mean, it's just a big giant beehive, as big as a human torso. It's kind of creepy. But we just leave them alone. They're not killer bees. They let us hang around, and look where they're at. They're right next to our market garden. Talk about a blessing. This is the one spot in this area that's not old asphalt. This is the only spot that was dirt. That's all dirt over there. It turns out that's part of the farmer's lease, and so I was kind of disappointed with that. I tried to figure that out, but anyway, what a blessing to have bees. You know, so that is huge. And fertilizer. Look at all these cows. I went out there with a wheelbarrow with the kids yesterday morning and gathered up cow manure, mixed it with the compost, and I was thinking, man, that is so expensive to go buy manure. You know, it's cheaper than the bags of soil, but it's still, to buy it, it's just a big deal. So it's right here. We just take as much as we want. So that's great. Got some tomatoes in, got some basil, we got some garlic ready to plant here in about a month. We're gonna put that in. I've got a bunch of Italian zucchini put in here and onions. Got 2 kinds of tomatoes. They're a faster growing tomato, so they're ready to harvest in 62 days. So we should be able to beat, you know, the temperature change. Got bunching onions in here, and I've got beans in here, just a Blue Lake bush bean. And there actually is, you can barely see it, it is right there, but there's a little green shoot coming up. That is marigold. Actually, there's several coming up. Those are marigolds that I planted around the edges. Marigolds have a toxin the roots put out that kill nematodes, which feed on the root systems of tomatoes and other things, and they don't like marigold toxin. Plus, marigold blossoms are good for the chickens to eat, loaded with vitamins. The chickens will eat the whole plant, so you can just take a marigold when you trim them up, just toss them to the chickens. It's awesome. This is our compost heap. 3 different processes here. We're gonna move it somewhere because I don't like it here. I want it in full sun all the time. But we're making a kind of soil called terra preta. You take charcoal. We just burn tree limbs that when we're trimming the trees, and I put them out before they burn all the way through. I put them out with water, and then the next morning I go and pick up the charcoal, and you mix it in, and it's like a deoxitizer or whatever you call it. It picks up odors. It also soaks up all the juice and the nutrients. So when you water your compost bin, all of the poopy juice, I guess you would say, yeah, I know, it gets soaked up into the charcoal, and then the microbes feed on the charcoal, and they drill through it and they drag it into the soil here and there and everywhere. And then you also mix little bits of pottery shard in. I know that sounds crazy, But there's another kind of microbe that hunts and feeds on the good microbes. For some reason, at least what I read, was that the bad microbes go into the pores in the pottery shard and die. I don't know. You do your own research. I was just reading about the Amazonian soil they found in the Amazon that's called dark earth or black earth. And apparently ancient people thousands of years ago made this soil using charcoal, pottery shards, discarded kitchen waste, fish bones, animal manure and urine, chicken bones, things like that, and spread it out on their fields. And the microbes fed off of it, and it's like super power juice for the microbes, and it's everlasting. You can take Amazonian dark earth and you can take some of it and put it in a bad soil, and it will actually transform. That handful will slowly transform it all into good soil. Hey, what are you doing?
It's a butterfly.
Oh, you're chasing a butterfly? It's like, oh, I just wanted to eat this thing. Okay, well, anyway. So, that's what I'm trying to duplicate. I read online all the crazy, intricate stuff about it, and I'm just doing the version that I read about as best that I can. I've done it before in Oregon, and the results were phenomenal. It was the difference between a zinnia being 36 inches tall, like it says on the package. Well, the ones I grew in regular soil were about 36 inches tall. The ones I grew in the Terra Preta I made were 7 feet. So that's a big deal. And when we till up this area this winter for our rows for cut flowers for the farmers market and for florists, that's what I'm trying to say, florists to come out, then having Terra Preta is going to be really good because we'll get really good blossoms. It's like the chickens are laying this morning. Oh, the twins are out. Look at you guys.
Look at this.
Oh, a cold blue egg. Let me see. Oh, so pretty. Wow.
Oh,
Did you just lay an egg?
Because we'd like to know what kind you laid.
These silver-laced Wyandotte chickens look angry, but it's just the way their wattles are, or their combs. Yeah, she's like, "Don't touch me! Don't touch me!" They're real pretty though. They got real pretty fur feathers. That's what I meant to say. Oh, we got another egg. So they lay brown ones then, huh?
Ew, wet ones.
Well, yeah, she just laid it. Like, thanks for stealing my egg. I'm out of here. Oof.
Oh my gosh, that's a lot of dust.
You are not joking around. Lucy, don't bother her. Leave her alone. You don't even blink, do you? Oh, you do blink. Wow. Okay.
You can just barely see them.
All right. But I'm grateful to have those bees because they really do a good job. I was reading about these squash, and I had to fertilize these because we just weren't getting any fruit. We got a few, and then they just stopped. And it turns out they're voracious eaters, and you have to fertilize them with like ripe cow patties. That's how much they want it. And you have to pollinate them. And if you don't have pollinators, you got to get a paintbrush, and you got to go from the male flowers to the female flowers, and talk about a lot of work. Well, we're blessed because we have bees in our barn that come and fertilize all these plants.
Not to mention the swarm of butterflies that came.
We have so many butterflies. I wish I could. There's one right there. There's tons of these. Whatever they are, I don't know, but they're everywhere. And them and the bees just take over, and they're pollinating everything. We also have a beautiful emerald jewel bee, whatever it is. Look at those zinnias. Wow, those are pretty. And those jewel bees are just all over the place. I've seen a lot more of them since we got a garden in here. And they're really gorgeous. And look at this. Lucy's bright blue morning glories have popped out. Those are gorgeous. Tomatoes are twice as tall as they were, so that's good. Put some marigolds. I found a deal, 97 cents, 4-inch pots of marigolds, so I bought a flat of those. And again, the nematodes don't like marigold toxin, so you put them around your tomatoes and they kind of keep the nematodes under control.
Nematodes?
Yeah, they're like a little insect that feeds on the root system.
Oh.
I'll snap off these little guys in the middle here. I'll wait till these get bigger and then I'll snap them off and I put them in a jar of water and then I just make new tomato plants. And so if we lose one, I've got another one backed up ready to go. These guys are climbing. These are Kentucky Wonder pole beans, so they'll climb up this and get on here. Something ate all of our lima beans. Not sure what that's about.
Dig up the ground.
I know, it's crazy.
Like bugs came from the bottom and pulled them up. Uh-oh.
And we've got our first okra. Nice.
Dad, watch out, there's an anthill right there.
An anthill? Man,
Smash it. Yeah, and then we come and get us.
I don't want anthills. There didn't used to be fire ants in Texas. They came up from South America or Mexico, and over the decades they've worked their way up. So, oh, there's a cucumber hanging right there. It's getting bigger. You know, you look closely and there's just life everywhere. There's a garden spider. We get these little smart spiders, we call them. They're, oh, what are they? Jumping spiders. And they just do a great job. This is going to be a giant sunflower. This is the one that grows 12 feet tall. Or maybe it's the 16-foot tall one. Right now, it's about up to my shoulders. There's something right there. What is that? Interesting little bug right there. Huh. There's just a lot of interesting creatures. We've got some kind of creature. I don't know if it's a rat or a rabbit. Something comes in here and digs around at night. And I've tried to find out what it was, but haven't been that lucky. So this morning, I'm going out to the market garden. We're gonna plant out there, and the girls are gonna plant their garden here. I'm gonna pull some weeds. We got blueberries we're gonna put in. So, should be a productive morning. Yeehaw.